Hello! So, when making my Unreal Engine 5 short films, I use a lot of motion capture using the Rokoko Smart Suit Pro 2. And the motion capture tends to be pretty clean. There shouldn't be a lot of fixing up that you have to do, especially when you're using models and stuff that use the Unreal Engine 5 mannequin, but I'm not. So, if you too aren't using the Unreal Engine 5 mannequin, let me show you a quick fix that might just help you sort out some of your dodgy looking motion capture. So, I've got an empty folder in my project file for my Superbridge videos in this, I call it test level. And we're going to import our animations and go from there. So, let me just quickly do that. This is using the Unreal Engine 5 mannequin. I've got it in a folder just off screen. So I'm just going to drag this in. Now it's going to give you this import window. And what we're going to do is we're going to import this to the SK mannequin, which is our UE5 mannequin. But if you can't find the SK mannequin in your random file, in your random project, should I say, go to add feature or content pack, and just add the third person character, the third person template, and then you'll get the mannequin that way. I'm not going to do that again because I've already got it. I'm just going to save this. So, just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to rename this to tutorial anim test. Right, so, anyway, open this up. As you can see, everything looks fine. Motion is good. The hands aren't weirdly overlapping. You'll see what I mean by that in a second. The shoulders aren't inside his chest, which is also weirdly a big thing. So I'll close this down. So you may be thinking, oh well, done, easy. No, I'm going to right click this and retarget this animation, and I'm going to use my Dave character just as a example. This could be any character mesh that you're using, not using the Unreal Engine 5 mannequin. So we just find our animation. So it's called tutorial anim test. We just search that tutorial. There it is. Double click that, and you'll see straight away like his shoulders are inside his body. You can't just about make out his fingers are really messed up. We're going to export this animation. I'm going to put it straight in this same file. You'd obviously put it wherever you want it to go. And there it is. Right, so here we are with the animation playing. You know, some things are fine. The head motion, legs are fine, but his hands look bizarre, and there's a lot of clipping, and his shoulders look too far in, which we don't like. So what we're going to do, we're going to edit in sequencer, edit with FK control rig, and I'm going to reduce keys, and sample rate 24 FPS, bake to control rig. It's baking. It's baking. There you go. Once it's baked to your control rig, it comes up in this sequencer down at the bottom of the screen here. I'm just going to move me just a little bit more out of the way. Right, we've got to find your person. There he be, in the middle of the map. Goes to the 0 position. Yeah, we're going to find the FK control rig in our sequencer. Press this little plus and add an additive track. Make sure it fills up the full timeline. You could, if you really wanted to, you could cut bits of this out if there's bits of it that you think are fine. Right. And what I do, save this, and move forward a frame to the start of the animation. Right. So when I'm recording my motion capture, I stand for a second, just relaxed. Arms straight down, hands relaxed. So that way, it just makes the hands and the arms, lining them up, just makes them a lot easier. With the shoulders, try and find parts of the clothing that line up. So for example, with this Helldiver here, this Under Armour section is quite clear. Oh, the camera's way too fast. It's quite clearly clipping out of there. So I've got my rotation onto 5 degrees and me snapping on 1. Just gonna bring it round, bring it down, maybe bring it forwards a little bit. There we go. Look, as you can see there now, that is all in. It's not clipping. I'm just gonna add our first keyframe So it locks that in now. That's it locked in roughly there for the rest of the animation. So now if I just move this forward, you see what I mean? It doesn't stay still for the animation, but it locks it to that position and uses that starting position for the rest of the animation, essentially. I'm going to go to the shoulder. I'm just going to flip that up, move it up a little bit, maybe spin it a bit, so it looks a bit normal. Add your keyframe. Now this skeleton has an upper arm twist, and this essentially is that shoulder pad there. So I'm going to bring it out just a bit like that, and just put it back in line, and I think that looks pretty good. And a keyframe. Now, if you remember in the preview animation, the hand was really messed up. Look at this. Now, this is why I leave my hands in a relaxed state, because what I do is I press on one of the fingers and I find them in our list, I guess. Right? I'm going to go to ring 1L2. Just there. I'm going to go all the way up to the top. So I've essentially selected every finger bone in the body. I've got this weapon bone that I'm just going to control and deselect there. And now, if I go over here to the transforms, go to rotation and just reset that to default, and the hand goes normal. This is why I leave it in a relaxed state. So that means my starting position for this animation is like that, straight. And then I just go through and just add keyframes to all these. This should clean up the animation for the hand for most of the rest of this shot. So then I'm just going to move his hand. So I found the more correct you make it in that first frame, the better the rest of the animation is, and the less cleaning up you need to do with the rest of the animation. So I just save this, right? I'll just play it as is now. And you can see straight away that hand and arm is so much better than that other one, to the point where it's pretty much perfect. And essentially you repeat that for the other arm. Fast forward, I'm gonna do a Blue Peter, and this is what I made earlier. Using the same method on both arms, a little bit of the head so his chin doesn't clip through his chest. Cleaned it right up and made it look natural and real. I personally don't worry too much about the feet, because camera angles and so on, you're not going to be looking at the feet. Just so happens that in this animation they seem pretty sound anyway. There's a bit of the heel digging into the floor there. You could fix that if you wanted to using the same method. Oh, hang on. To clean up any animations further down the line, let's say you've done your hands at the beginning like that and it's all okay. Where's he gone? It's all okay. Da-da-da-da-da. He's walking around, he's perfectly fine. Let's just imagine that other arm is okay. And you get to this bit here I forgot about. Now let's say this bit here, he's supposed to be shouting like this, right? His hands are supposed to be next to his mouth, and his face is supposed to be forwards. They're not. But it's fine up to this point. The full animation is clean, it's okay up to this point. And as of him putting his hands down, it's fine again. So, just before he puts his hands up, right here, we'll add a keyframe to everything in the control rig. Boom. And then after he lowers his arms, right here, we'll add a keyframe again. And we're just going to zoom in using the plus button on the keyboard. Let's go to... right, and here. This is where he's supposed to be looking and shouting through his hands. Like he's saying, hello. So, start with the head. Just because then you know what outline everything up. I'm going to click on his neck. Spin this round. Aim it forwards. Add a keyframe. Right, and then we're going to move this arm. There we we go, and we do the same this side. So obviously this side of this arm we haven't actually cleaned up, so it's not going to look perfect anyway. Now instead of it being like this, it's like this. And because we've got the keyframe at the end as to how it was, this won't mess with any of the rotations of the future. So now it plays like that. It's just cleaned up that little section without affecting any of the rest of the animation. So that's how I do it. And as I say, when everything's finished, this is what it looked like. So even in my own that I've finished, I could have done better really. His hands get a bit too close together. But oh well. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have, please remember to smack the like button and subscribe. I hope you've learned something. I'm just uploading these sort of things as and when I learn them. This just happens to be, so far, the quickest way I found out how to tidy up this sort of problem with an animation. Anybody who's got any quicker ideas, please leave comments in the comments below. And yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey, look familiar? This data graph shows me that only 5% of viewers are subscribed. So that means you should press that subscribe button right now. Because you never know when I'll be dropping more content. Wow. Will I do? Yeah?
Looks good.
Cool.